Today we are out at the Jenkins Spring Cemetery. This cemetery was started in 1867 with the passing of Richard Jenkins, who owned this property. There are a few unmarked graves of surveyors that came through the area. They worked for the Army, and we're going to see if we can't find those while we're here. So before we really get started, I'll go ahead and read this plaque to you. It says, Richard Jenkins, one of the first pioneers to settle in Brown County, purchased a farm just 7 miles northeast of Brownwood. The local spring was soon named after him and provided water for his family and later for the school and church. The earliest known graves in Brown County are found on the Jenkins farm, belonging to 4 Army surveyors who were ambushed near the farm, killed, and buried on Jenkins property. The first marked grave is that of Richardson Jenkins himself, who passed in 1867. Among those buried here are veterans of the Civil War, World War I, World War II, Korean War, and the Vietnam War. The Jenkins Spring Cemetery Association, formed in 1964, maintains this historic cemetery. So Jenkins Springs has a lot of these neat old headstones, just like we see at a lot of the older cemeteries. One thing I hate seeing at all these cemeteries is all these headstones that are broken. I guess you really can't do anything about it. Mother Nature takes its course. One thing I want to point out while we were talking about the broken headstone over on the other side of the cemetery is how some cemeteries come in and they build these supporting brackets. You can see where that one was broke, and they've added this metal to support the headstone. I think that is a great idea. I mean, it definitely helps in the aesthetic of the cemetery, and it also helps with weed eating and mowing purposes. You can see that one was broken 2 or 3 spots, so really great idea, and a lot of local cemeteries could benefit from that, I think. So just out front of the cemetery, you can see this little pump house, or the remnants of a pump house. I'm thinking that maybe the church and the school would have sat here in front, but I could be wrong on that aspect. Here's a neat little headstone I ran across. It's that of Alfred Etheridge, born August 1825, died November of 1909. So 2 graves that are really neat and really stick out among the rest are that of S.H. Ladd and Elizabeth Ladd. Both died in 1882, and both seem to be infant graves by the size. So I wonder what the story is on that. Here's another unmarked sandstone grave. Looks to be about the size of an infant grave. We'll have to get online and see if this is a documented grave or not. Here we have a grave of Confederate soldier Jacob J. Carter. He was in Company D, 14th Mississippi Infantry for the Confederate States of America. Born January 1841, died March of 1889. I think these 4 sandstone markers are that of the Army surveyors that were ambushed and killed here. I could be wrong, but what's got me thinking that is that they're buried next to where Richardson Jenkins is buried. So this is the headstone of William A. Tabor, born March 1861, died December of 1910. There are quite a few of the Woodmen of the World Memorial headstones here, as you see in quite a few of the cemeteries around here. Alright, we're wrapping it up at the Jenkins Spring Cemetery. I went over some of the history with you and showed you some of the headstones that stuck out to me. Next week we'll be going to a cemetery that many of you have probably never even heard of, so that's going to be a pretty neat one to go over and show y'all. Stay tuned.